Hey guys, welcome to the People Streamer podcast. I'm your host, Ranout, and this is a podcast where we give people more than 30 seconds. Today I'm joined with MrCobbleWobbles. Yes, he has so many voices. He does voices on his stream. He is an influencer. I just love the ring of his name as well, Mr. CobbleWobbles. I'm gonna find out where he got that name. He's a YouTuber. He's really going at it and going for the miles on Twitch. He's doing a great job. He entertains people. He has a lot of people in his network that support him, help him. Just a great, awesome guy. He is in love with owls. He just absolutely loves them. And I see the attraction. I know why. Let me introduce you to him. You can find him on twitch.tv, Mr. Cobblewobbles. I will put that somewhere that the name is written correctly. I could spell it, but that's a really long ass name to spell. So, Mr. Cobblewobbles, how are you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, and you can't see it, but I'm super I'm blushing like crazy right now. You're so kind.
I'm only kind to people that deserve it, dude. I'm only kind
Aw,
to people that deserve it.
aw.
Okay, let's dive right in. Twitch. How
Yeah.
did your journey start in Twitch? How did it happen? Tell us everything.
Well, a little over a year ago, I was still doing YouTube in Dutch, my native language, and I kind of got tired of the whole YouTube thing because also the Dutch YouTube community is a bit toxic. I feel like. Not everyone. There are great people that are doing YouTube in Dutch that are doing a fantastic job and are super kind, but there's also a lot of toxicity involved. And I was kind of done with it, and I don't really like YouTube as a platform anymore, not as much as I love Twitch. I was looking for something else, but I still wanted to create stuff. But yeah, YouTube wasn't cutting it anymore. So I was kind of introduced to Twitch because some of my followers were doing Twitch streams, and I was like, maybe I should check it out. And I pretty much liked what I saw. And I was starting to play with the idea like, what if I'm going to start streaming? How would that work? So I started some research into that. Like, what did I need? Like, Streamlabs, OBS, stuff like that. And then I was debating with myself whether I would do it in Dutch or in English. And since I am an English, I'm studying for to become an English teacher. I was like, yeah, let's do it in English. I could practice my English a little bit more and potentially have a bigger reach. I don't know. So I don't know. I started with streaming a little over a year ago, and it's yeah, I freaking love it. So
So, what's the plus side on Twitch that you couldn't find on YouTube? Then, what attracted you more?
mostly audience interactivity, I guess, because on YouTube I mean, you upload a video, you get the reactions after you made the video, and on Twitch you get your feedback immediately. Like if something goes wrong or there's something that can be improved, people in my chat, and let me tell you, people in my chat will comment on stuff that's wrong. Um, they have they'll point it out immediately, and I can fix it immediately as well. So that's one of the things that I really like about Twitch. And you can also like build a bond with your viewers. And that's something you don't really have on YouTube. And also like the live streaming on YouTube is I don't know what it is, but it's just not as smooth as on Twitch. I don't know. Twitch is just superior in that way, I guess.
They would love to hear that that they are superior. Oh, Mr. Cobblewobble said that we are superior. We must note this. The name, dude. Everybody that I talk to or introduced you to or talk about you, Mr.
Mhm.
Cobblewobbles, where did that come from?
Yeah, that's actually that's a question that I get asked a lot lately. as well. And like I kind of love it when I just come into a chat and the other streamer is like, "Oh my god, Mr. Cobblewobbles, I love your name. I can't stop saying it." And then they start repeating my name like 20 times and I'm like, "Ah, thank you. Consider my ego like um yeah, stroked or something." I don't know. So I really love that people really like the name, but where it came from was I was playing a game with a friend of mine. I think it was CS:GO. Whoa, that's a long time ago, actually. We were talking about how I was gonna start streaming and stuff. I was also talking about, man, I'm so bad at games. Like I'm the worst gamer out there, which is probably partially true. Like I'm not a very good gamer. I'm rarely good in a game, but that's also what makes it fun, I guess. And there's a term in English. That term is the cobbly wobblies, or I'm feeling cobbly wobbly, and that means that you're feeling nauseous. I was like, when people watch me play a game, they would probably feel, like, nauseous because of how bad the gameplay is. So I was like, "Hmm, cobbly wobbly, that sounds a bit too timey-wimey," like with Doctor Who, and also like that dynamic, like timey-wimey stuff, cobbly wobbly, I don't know, I liked it. And I was like, cobbly wobbly doesn't sound completely right because that doesn't sound like a person. Maybe I should make it something else." And then, yeah, Mr. CobbleWobbles was born out of that one conversation with a friend.
That's cool, dude.
I just kept it because I like the ring of it.
A lot of people do, and I brought you in to speak to you about branding. So that name and other streamers repeating it like 20 times, other people gonna hear that and oh yeah, Cobblewobbles. Oh, it has a nice ring to it. Let's check him out. I don't know if it works like that, but it is great advertising. Your name is heard. So I
Yeah,
could
yeah. Sometimes it does work like that actually. Like I've had people just random like a random follow when I'm not live and I'm like, "Hmm, where did that come from?" And I just see that person in a chat where I'm also active because yeah, just the name and they start looking around. And if the other streamer also mentions that you're a streamer, then viewers are most likely to maybe take a quick peek, and if your name is interesting in a way, I guess that also helps.
I'm guessing, and I know that's probably right, but you don't do it to get more people in it, but just to be with the people that are in that stream.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not going into streams expecting other people in that stream to follow me. That would be very, very bad. No, I just go into streams that I really enjoy, and sometimes the community members just like, I don't know, notice you or something, and when the streamer himself or herself also knows that you're a streamer and they mention something about it and your name is catchy, it just adds a little bit. And that's also a big thing, like being active in other people's chats is something that a power that is greatly underestimated. But you have to of course, you have to do it for the right reasons, you have to do it to support another person and not just yourself.
Yeah, we talked about toxicity a little bit and that other people go into streams for the wrong
Oh,
reasons, not
no,
to make
yeah.
friends, but to, hey, I'm here. Come to me, come to me. And that's not the right reason to do it. So
No, I also really hate that when a person comes in the stream and at first they're really, really nice and you think like, "Oh, this is a cool dude or dudette. This is nice." And then suddenly they start promoting their own channel or mentioning their own channel out of the blue without any context or whatever, and then I'm like, "Oh god, it's one of those." And it's
it's one of
not.
those.
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
find a name for one of those.
Yeah.
Let's think about it and find a name for like a code name that everyone in your audience knows. Oh, it's one of
Yeah,
those, but
one of
with
those.
another name.
Yeah,
You have, I'm guessing, a love for owls. How did that start?
yeah. The funny thing, I really don't know. Like, I always thought that owls were cool creatures. They look so wise. like they look so smart. And like, when I was younger, I never really had the feeling that I was super smart or something, and I don't know, I just love how they look. They look very stern and wise and all-knowing, and I don't know, I really dig that look, and when I first started streaming, my logo was just something random that I made with the letters C and W, and then I melted them together
Oh, I
in
remember
some
that
kind
one.
of yeah, in some kind of icon. And then I think I was playing Owlboy, the indie game that's on, I think, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch by now, I think. Great game, by the way. One of my favorites. One of my favorites because yeah, it had owls. But deviating from the point, I was playing that, and people were like, your profile picture with a little bit of imagination looks maybe a little bit like the silhouette of an owl." And I was like, yeah, maybe it is. And so I started thinking to like rebrand the channel with owls because I freaking love those creatures. And Owlboy is such an amazing game that yeah, it really stuck with me.
Brand wise, I think that was an awesome idea, and not only use it as a brand, but also because you love them.
Mhm.
But every time I see an owl, I think of you. So brand wise, that's freaking awesome because
Yeah, that
oh
is
here,
awesome, actually.
oh an owl. Oh, I should post this to Mr. Wobbles. Nah, I posted like 20 other owl pics or something like that. And if I see other streamers that know you, even in the game, if there's an owl in the game, they call it the CobbleWobbles. So
Yeah,
your name
yeah,
is out there. That's the most. I don't want people now to, oh, I'm gonna make an owl as well, because you put real thought behind it. Okay, it came from your audience. Great.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, it did actually.
You incorporate them into your view how the channel must go, but that is a great leap. You did something even on top of that.
Did I?
Let's talk about your mic stand, and please introduce him.
Yeah, I'm talking into him right now. So which sounds super weird, by the way. I'm talking into someone. Yeah, so for like when I first started streaming, I just had the microphone that I used for my YouTube channel, which was the Rode NT USB mic thingy majig, but it kind of looked like
And that's its exact name, guys.
yeah,
Go look
that's
it
the
up and
exact name.
Google it.
Google it. Yeah. um, and I was always like, it looks a bit boring though. Like it looks a little bit boring. Like, back when the owl stuff started happening, I rebranded the channel with, like, owl emotes and owl logo and blah, blah, blah. And, me and my girlfriend went to IKEA, to check out furniture, yeah, and eat some Swedish balls because they're super good.
Not gonna make a joke.
Yeah, no, try not to, try not to. Um, and they were tasty. We walked around in IKEA, and there's always, like, a bit that's for children, like, with furniture for children, and then also, like, a whole lot of plushies. And I saw an owl plushie, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is freaking." I could put this, like, in the background on the stream or something, so I bought it. And then my girlfriend was like, "Wouldn't that fit over your mic?" Because it was like a hand puppet. And she was like, "Wouldn't that fit over your microphone?" And I was like, "Oh my god, that is the best idea ever. Maybe it does." And I tried it out, and I was like, "Oh my god, it fits." But I wasn't sure how the audio would be. I thought that the audio would be affected, so I tested it out, and it actually sounded pretty good. But yeah, from that moment on, Alfred was born.
Alfred. Did you come up
Alfred.
with a name or something you did with your community?
I gathered name suggestions from the comments on the stream, and then I put them in a straw poll, and then launched the poll, and eventually the audience decided on Alfred because Alfred is like the butler in Batman, and he's kind of my butler on stream. Like he's my co-host.
That's
I
true.
think that the ultimate co-host of Batman is Alfred. I don't know, maybe Robin, but who cares? Alfred. Um,
Who cares about that guy?
yeah, exactly. And yeah, since then, Alfred has been. It's also a pun, of course. Alfred. Yeah. Okay. That's. Yeah, that was already obvious, I think.
Yeah, you don't need to explain that one.
Since then, it's just been like a constant value on the stream, and people seem to really like it. And like, I mean, it's just fun to play around with. Like when I go BRB, like for a short time, I just place Alfred like in front of the camera and be like, Alfred, entertain the audience, and then he just stares at them. And while I go grab a bottle of water or something, and he just stares at them, and then the chat is like, "Oh my god, he's such a natural streamer! Like, oh my god, he's so much better than MrCobbleWobbles." It's just fun. It's just super funny. I like it.
But in branding, I also think that's a great idea because you had a be right back. But if people scroll down to see what streamers they're on and they see like a tiny miniature owl on that, what is it, a couple of centimeters or inches on top of each other, people just gonna come in to think, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
Just to see what that is.
some people like come into the stream and are like, "Wait." Like after a while they realize like, "Wait, is that owl your microphone?" Like, "What?" And I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he is." And yeah, people just love it.
And then you have to explain that it's a hand puppet and not a stuffed
Yeah, then I have to
owl.
then I have to explain that it's a hand puppet and it has a microphone stuffed up its butthole,
Woohoo!
and,
It's hoo-hoo.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, he hoots alright.
Sorry, sometimes I think I'm really funny and then I laugh at my own jokes.
That's
Great
important.
comedian. Great comedian. Okay, next level branding. You also are on Twitch and Twitter and even your Facebook. How do you maintain that and what do you choose to put out there?
Yeah, that's kind of like that's one of the most difficult things actually, like maintaining the different social medias. Because like I have so Twitch to start with, then I got Twitter on top of that because that's really easy to advertise your channel and also like bring people up to date of what's happening if you're a little bit later with a stream or a little bit earlier, stuff like that. Then I also have Instagram and Facebook, and it's really difficult like to maintain that, especially Facebook, since that like I consider Facebook as a bit of a dead social media, I guess. On Facebook I do less stuff with like the Facebook page. Like I do announce the schedule on Facebook, because that can be handy, but other than that, like besides a few clips maybe on Facebook, I don't really do a lot. But on Twitter I'm very active, and I think Twitter is also very important for connections. Just like putting your stream out there a little bit, because Twitter has a unique thing with its retweets, how the retweets work. I mostly try to, like when I'm done streaming, clips will be made. Like my community makes a lot of clips, and sometimes there's a really nice, derpy, funny clip in there. And then I share it on Twitter, which can get some retweets, and that way it can bring in some new people. So in that way, like social media is a very powerful thing to promote your Twitch channel. Also, like on Instagram, and it doesn't really have to be like like some people on Instagram are like, follow me on Twitch here, just a photo and then a Twitch link, and I'm like, no, no, it's not how you do that. You have to like post a picture, make a story around that, and then briefly mention your Twitch, and then the use of hashtags is very important there as well.
Yeah, you mentioned you were a teacher. Does that help you to make stories around what you wanted to say, or are
Um,
you a natural talent at that, or at classes, or?
well, like in high school, I did KAIZO. Here in Belgium. It's called KAIZO. It's like arts education. I don't actually know how you would call it in English, but mostly acting, basically. That's what I did in high school, yeah, as my high school career. And,
By chance, do you mean improv?
no, not improv. It was,
Okay.
woordkunstdrama.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's just acting.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
basically. Well, we
yeah.
also had some singing classes and dancing classes. Let's not talk about those dancing classes.
Next time and in your stream, I'm gonna make you dance, puppet. Come on, dance.
um, dance, monkey, ow, dance. Um, but yeah, so like from there, I got some experience in like telling stories and acting them out. And story is a very important tool. Also, as a teacher, like story can be very important, but like with grabbing people's attention. And I think stories are just like, yeah, I don't know. They're so powerful. If you can tell a good story, that really makes up for a lot of things. And like I'm a very creative soul. Like I write short stories. I'm actually writing a book right now, which is
Cool.
slowly coming together. But like story is really really important as a content creator as well, I think, because when something has a story, it immediately appeals to us, or at least that's how I experience stories. So I think that's a huge help if you can actually do that. Use some story in your content. That's really nice.
Do you share that with your community, your short stories, or do something about that,
Well,
or?
I did a stream once, a story time stream where I read one of my short stories on stream, and it was really nice. But I never really did it again because like sometimes I feel like my writing isn't good enough to show to people or let people hear it. And especially with the book now, like I don't want to talk about that too much. I will mention it once in a while, and I think I'm also gonna make some content on YouTube about it, but more about the process of making that book, and not as in like plot details or character details or whatever. That's something that I want to keep to myself until it comes out. I hope sometime, maybe. Um, yeah, I would love that if it would come out. It's something that I've been really interested in, and sometimes share with my community, but those parts of like using storytelling I keep to myself for now. But eventually it's the plan to like introduce that to my audience, and I hope they will enjoy and like it.
How do you get over that hump to show people what you want to show, even they could bash what you're doing?
Yeah.
How do you get over that hump?
Yeah, that's I think that's something where a lot of streamers have issues with. It's that like the internet can be a brutal place.
Brutal.
Yeah, it can really be a brutal place. I guess you have to, if you're a content creator, you have to create content that you yourself are happy with. I think as soon as you are happy with what you're putting out there, that hump that you have to get over of, people might not like this, gets smaller. Because if you enjoy what you're doing and you think it's genuinely a good thing that you're doing and you enjoy watching it yourself as well, I think that's a huge help. And also, you have to keep in mind that you're not going to please everybody, because everybody is
True.
different. And if you try to please everybody, you'll most likely end up pleasing almost nobody. Now, you have to please, first of all, you have to please yourself. And, if you're happy, yeah, that could be taken in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Um,
my
but
mind
like
went there, but I didn't want to say anything.
but if you're happy with what you create yourself, I think you can also share it with more passion than someone that created something that they actually didn't really like and then just posted it on social media, and they're like, ch- check this out, but not really because I don't really like it. Like you can feel that when a content creator is not happy about what they put out there.
If people are looking for that passion, what would it look like? What would it be? What be a good drive to control that passion?
Mm, that's a very difficult question.
I
I
know.
think
I,
like yeah, I don't know. A passion for something is is something that just comes naturally and organically. I don't think you can force a passion for something. That has to grow. Like when I first started with Twitch, I just saw it as something to spend my time with, because I was also a little bit bored and I didn't have a lot to do at that time. And I was like, maybe I should start streaming. And now, like when I got the response from people and the love from people, and like that just motivates you and sparks something. And with me, it really sparked a passion for live streaming. Just the way that it makes you feel when you're appreciated on that platform is just a special kind of feeling that I've never experienced anywhere else before. And that's, I guess, what sparked my passion to it. And I think, like, when you like in life, you just have to find something you're passionate about, and you find that by trying new things. And Twitch was a new thing for me.
I saw your passion because you openly admit that you want to go the distance, you want to go the miles,
Yeah.
and you made a YouTube video out of that. How did that go, and how did you connect with other people to make that video, and
Yeah.
what was your experience with it?
So I see a lot of streamers these days saying like, "Oh, I just do this for fun. Maybe we'll get places, but probably not," and blah de blah de blah. And to me, that comes off as, like, if you do Twitch and you do it for fun, just to relax and all, that's all fine, but you have to mean it then, because a lot of streamers, and they don't admit it, but they really want to get partnered, and they really want to get that audience, and they really want to make a living out of it. But they just say to their audience, like, okay, yeah, I just do this for fun. I don't really care. And what it comes off to me as is, I don't really care that much. And as an a member of your audience, then I'm like, if you don't care, why should I care? You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to be upfront with my community. My community deserves honesty, and I just came clean is the wrong word, I guess, but like I just told them straight up, like, this is what I'm going for. I want to make partner. I would love to make a living out of this, and that's what I'm going for with this journey. A lot of people appreciated the transparency. And I think that transparency is really, really, really important. It's the same thing with setting donation goals. There's a whole drama around that. Like, why would you post a donation goal, etc.? It's just forcing people to give you money, blah, blah, blah. But I see it completely differently, where you put a donation goal up and your viewers can see where the money they would give you is actually going. Like, it's the same thing with your intentions. Like, you have to tell your community what you want to do with the channel, because then they can support you with that. And if you don't tell them that, they're like, okay, he doesn't really care if I'm here or not. Or, well, maybe not that crude, but like, it doesn't really matter if I'm here or not to support this guy, because he doesn't really want to make a living out of it or something. And if you really tell people what you want, it's most likely that they'll stick by you.
I think that's something that you could use in life as well.
Yeah.
Tell people what you want, and don't sit in a corner and think that things will come to you and it will
Yeah,
happen to
exactly.
you.
Because that's a common mistake that starting streamers make. A lot of people go into streaming thinking, "Oh, I can make some easy money and it'll be easy because I'll just have to game a little bit in my room and I'll just have to stream it on the internet." But that's not true. Like, that is not the truth. I think I spent twice more time advertising the stream and working on it off screen than I'm actually streaming. And that's something that people tend to forget. It's all the work that's behind that stream. Like, you have to work for it. It doesn't just come to you. Like, for some people it comes to them if they're really, really lucky, but not everyone gets to be lucky, and a lot of people have to work for it. And that's just the truth.
I also think that luck is something you not find, but that, how do I say this
That you
correctly?
influence luck.
You influence luck by the work that you do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to to get that out of here, like it's easy money. You don't have to put in a lot of work. I don't know if you know the exact number, but how many hours do you do like a week? If and also counting Twitter and Instagram and
Uh,
all that.
that's difficult. Like, I pretty much stream 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 times a week mostly, so and that's already, like, let's say 4 hours a day, like 20 hours of streaming. Beyond
And
that,
you said twice that, so that's like
yeah.
60 hours. That's
S
more than
some
a work week
some
for.
something like that, but, like, right now, I don't really have anything to do either, like, but besides that, so I think that's also an important thing to point out, because I mean, I don't have a job yet or something, like, I'm still studying and it's summer vacation now, so that I mean, and I didn't have a lot of classes, this semester, so like, that's also a thing to consider. But yeah, there's a lot of work in Twitch that people don't really realize, but yeah, it's like when you treat it where you want to go, like, I was honest about it. I want to make partner, I want to make a living out of it. And if you want that, then yeah, a full-time job is well, a full-time you gotta work for it full time, I guess, to make it happen.
That's true. That's exactly true, and I love that you're honest about it and just saying I'm going for it. And did the video help that you made? Like you
Yeah.
made a song about going for partner. Did it help?
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah, but it well, I don't know if it really helped, but I did well maybe it did because I did notice, like, the last few, weeks since I've really said, like, "Okay, this is what I'm going for, and if you want to support me, you're more than welcome to join the stream and support it together because I can't do it alone. Like I cannot make my Twitch a full-time job if I do it alone. Like all of you, like the audience has to do it with me. This is a project that we build together and it's not me alone that builds it. Like I'm not the kind of person that puts a streamer on a pedestal like, "Oh, he really did it. She really did it." No, that's not true. Like there's a whole community underneath that person that puts that person like up in the sky and it's the community that really helps you. And since that I've mentioned that like that the community needs to help me to achieve that, I experienced an increase in numbers. I experienced an increase in views. I experienced a increase in raids and hosts and stuff like that. So it does help to be transparent about what you want in streaming and probably in life in general, I guess.
do you think that's because they now know, hey, I'm sticking for the long haul. I will be here around next year, the year after that, the
Yeah.
year after that, so they can have confidence that when they come into your stream that they have, first of all, quality content, and second of all, that they can make friends in your channel because you will always be there, not only with you but also with other viewers.
Yeah, I think that really made a difference because people then know where you stand and what you want to achieve. And now that they know that my community and my channel is there to stay for the long haul, they invest more time in that community as well, bringing other people in because they're sure of it that like if I'm really gonna go places, then they're gonna go with and meet more exciting people to share their passions with. And I think that's one of the most important things about streaming is creating that community that really supports you. Part of that appeal of adding people to your community is the brand of your channel, I guess.
You can feel that your passion is really going in there because when you started talking about it, your voice got a little bit louder and
Well, yeah, I'm just passionate about it,
passionate
yeah.
talking about it. Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
cool,
I
dude.
freaking love it. I freaking love what I'm doing on Twitch every day. I just adore the audience that I've built as well, like the people that came into the stream. I've made friends for life with streaming, and not only other streamers, but some viewers as well that really are like a fixed thing, like a fixed person in my chat is so nice to see and so inspiring to me. So yeah, I freaking love it, and that's why I'm passionate about it.
What are some like I said, you did the YouTube video. Are there some tricks and tips that you could give to people that helped you along the way? Not only your
Um,
hard work and being there and streaming a lot, and but some other things that you did that maybe influenced your audience and your community.
I think the biggest thing is to try and think out of the box because there are a lot of streamers. That comes with a lot of friends and colleagues, but also a little bit competition, I guess. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't have to see your fellow streamers as competition," and I agree with that. Like they can, like you just do your own thing. They don't have to be competition, but since there are so many, there is a little competition. Like you got to stand out a little to actually make it, I guess. And
Yeah.
outside the box is probably one of the most important things in that regard. For instance, like the parody that I made about breaking through on Twitch, that's I mean, that it's something that I hadn't really seen anywhere else, and I was like, "Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it and be honest about everything and just make a music video out of it because that's more fun than just making a video about, "Hey, guys, yeah, I wanna break through on Twitch." Like, that's boring. You gotta make it entertaining. You gotta make it something that the viewers want to see. So, I guess that is probably like, you gotta be a bit creative about it, I guess.
What would be a bad thing to, if you had to say something, not naming names or anything, but what you said, thinking out of the box, what would be a bad way to go about it, thinking out of the box?
I think, like, the most important thing with announcing stuff like that and thinking about the box about branding your channel is probably the reason behind it. You have to be honest. And I've said this a lot during this interview, during this podcast, but honesty is truly key. If you do Twitch solely for money, yeah, people feel that, I think, or some people feel that and will be like, let's not go there. There has to be real passion involved. There has to be real fun involved. There has to be just like, you gotta be real and not fake in that regard, I guess. Like, I see a lot of streamers, I'm not gonna name names because I can't really think of streamers right now because I don't really watch those streamers anyway, where you can really feel that they just are in it for the money and that they don't really care about their audience, they just want the audience money, and I think that's really, really gross and dirty. And I don't like that. And an audience can feel that. And if you're truly passionate about something, and if you're having fun with your streams and with your audience, and you care about them, and I think that is one of the best strengths you can have as a streamer. And if you then can incorporate that in putting your stream out there in a creative and fun way, then I think you got something.
I'm gonna ask a difficult question about that one, because you said honesty is the most valuable thing that you can have, and being honest about your work, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna ask a difficult
Mhm.
question. If they're honest about, I'm only doing this for the money, and they still get viewers and tons of people donating money, is that the same for you or
Mhm.
not?
I don't know. Like, mm, like in a way, I'm also in it for the money because I'm saying like I want to be a partner. I want to make a living out of it, and making a living out of something is making money. But I think that when that's the sole reason, like when that's the only reason that you have to do Twitch, and then I think it's wrong, and I don't really think that those people can really break through. I think every big streamer right now has some sort of passion in streaming and some sort of fun in streaming. as opposed to others that just want to make quick cash or something like that? I don't It's a difficult question, but like the reasons that I, for example, do Twitch are diverse, and there are more reasons than one. And yeah, one of those is making money, of course, because when I want to make this a job, money has to be involved, of course, because well, our society depends on that. You got to have money to
True.
function in this society. Um, but I think you need more than just that reason. Like there's more to Twitch than just money. There's awesome communities, there's awesome people, there's fun to be had, there's entertainment to be made. You can put a smile on someone's face. Like think about that. Even when you have like 4 viewers, you can have an impact on your viewers' lives. You can put a smile on someone's face, and that's so valuable. And I think that's a bigger reason to do Twitch than just money.
True.
So, yeah.
You also stated communities for branding. How important is communities in that aspect? And I don't mean your own community and doing things for them, but looking up communities where streamers hang out and in that way.
Mhm. Well, it's just important that a streamer creates a community of his or her own, and maybe even work together with other communities. And the main thing there is that everyone feels safe, that they feel welcome. And if you can link your branding to your community, then I think like when for instance, in my case, like I'm just going to give an example, like the hoot hoots. Like people come into my stream saying hoot hoot, and if I come into someone else's stream and some of my viewers are also there, they'll also put like hoot hoot in chat. It's small things like that that make your community stand out, because they use the things that you use in your branding in their daily lives, and that gives you some extra visibility. And in that way, communities can really help you grow your channel, because if your community is passionate about you being passionate about Twitch, I mean, that's free advertisement basically, because people just like to hang out with your community, and they see how close your community is, and that's just a very attractive thing.
That's cool, dude. That's really cool. And I really think that you still are and have built that kind of community because they are everywhere, those owls. They really are. And that's awesome to see, dude. And you see them all over the place and doing their thing and connected with you, and they are like spokesperson for you, like you said,
Yeah.
and they're doing a great job at that as well. Not going into stream, you have to watch this streamer, but just being themselves, and
Yeah, no. Exactly.
other people can see there, oh, he's part of that community, and that's a nice guy, and he's also part of that community and is also a nice guy. Oh, there's a lot of nice, and I say guys, but I also mean girls and Apache helicopters and space whales and that. They all come in. I think that's also
Yeah.
a great form of branding when you put people around you and they come for you, so they actually choose you, but you choose them as well. If they're toxic, don't keep them
Yeah,
around.
exactly. Exactly. I don't need toxic people in my community. If I see a person in my chat being sexist or racist or whatever, discriminative in any way, sorry, but get the fork out of here, because my community is all about everyone has to feel welcome. Like, of course, we make jokes about each other, and but it's all good fun, you know? Like for instance, there are two people in my community that keep joking about each other, but I mean, they're not meaning anything of it, you know? And you can feel that as well. You can feel that, and I think like the members of your community are advocates for your stream. And if they're nice elsewhere, then people can actually feel that and see that and recognize
That's
that.
awesomely said, dude. Really, really awesomely said. I want to begin to close down the interview and ask you the one tip you would give for people that started streaming, even if they're busy like 5 years or 1 year or just a week. What's the one tip you would give anyone that streams?
A good tip would probably be find a gimmick to build your brand around. Like, I found my owls, and it worked out really, really well because it's something that is recognized immediately and catches on immediately. And if you find something like that, then I think you have a very valuable tool in your tool set to become like a great streamer. Because let me think about this for a second. Why that works is because it's like recognized and appreciated immediately, and you have to find something like that, but you don't have to purposely look for that. I think when something like that like naturally evolves, then that is more powerful than you just saying like, "Oh, let's go for owls. Let's just do it." And you're just there all of a sudden with owls, and everyone is like, Where did that come from? What happened?" No, you have to build it gradually, and I think that's something that you cannot find immediately when you stream. Like when I discovered the owl thing, I was busy for like 2 or 3 months, I think, and then it started to roll, and it didn't really went like snap. There it is. We have this gimmick where we can build a brand around. It didn't happen like that. You have to build that the same way that you build your stream gradually. The most important thing there is do it together with your community. Listen to your community, see what they really like, what they want, what they appreciate, and just like the from the fun banter in chat, you can get a lot out of that, believe me. Because when I was playing Owlboy, for example, like that whole owl thing started there with one remark from one person that said, "Hey, your logo kind of looks like an owl with a lot of imagination." Like that one sentence sparked the whole owl thing. So you have to find something like that in your streams, I guess. And it doesn't have to be an animal, of course. It can be anything that is something that your community and your stream can be recognized by. And that is the most important thing for your branding, I guess.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. That was a great explanation, and I wanted to ask another question about how you put your community in there, but you already answered that, and that was great. But now the most important question of the whole stream, God damn it, podcast. Still at it at my old ways. From the whole podcast, I hope I made you a little bit nervous. But Mr. Wobbles, here comes your question.
Oof.
Where can they find you?
Well, let's do some shameless self promotion
It's
here.
not
Uh,
shameless. I asked for it, and it's never shameless with me because I'm also a member of your community. I'm also a big fan, and it's never shameless with me because I want to promote your stream as often as I can, like a lot of streaming buddies I have.
it's always also so fun that you're also there. Like, I just want to say that you like when you pop it in my chat. I don't know if you notice, but I think that a smile appears on my face just because you're there. Like you're
Aw,
cool. You're a cool dude, and I love having you in my chat and chatting along with other people. I really dig that.
thanks, dude. But you put a smile on my face when I come watch you, so.
Uh, yeah, that's it. That's cool. Um, yeah,
Yes,
to answer
enough of the bro love. Let's to
yeah,
the business side of this thing.
yeah, the business, where people can find me is, well, pretty much MrCobbleWobbles everywhere. Twitter is at MrCobbleWobbles, Instagram is at MrCobbleWobbles, Facebook is /MrCobbleWobbles, Twitch is also /MrCobbleWobbles, YouTube is also /MrCobbleWobbles. So it's pretty easy because it's the same everywhere because apparently I picked such a unique username that it was never taken on anything. So
And that's good branding as well.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there you go. Everywhere, Mr. CobbleWobbles.
He's everywhere, people, and we're gonna see a lot
Everywhere.
of him as he grows even more. I want to say thank you one last time. Not that I'm going to die or anything, but I want to say thank you for allowing me to interview you and your
No problem.
insightful ways how to brand. Really appreciate it, and thank you once more.
Thank you for inviting me because I had a blast. It was really fun.
That's the whole point
So there you
about
go.
is that people get to know you and that you have fun.
Love it. I can't wait to see it or hear it rather.
You're gonna hear it real soon, so.
Woohoo.
one last brand in there. Okay. Well, guys, this was it for me today, but I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe or to follow. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, great platforms where you can see where I make stuff, create stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time.